Hello and welcome to Chess with Simon. I'm Simon. Bit of bad news on a few fronts tonight. This game is fine. This is all theory. Do we break d5 then? We break d5. We break d5, don't we? That's what we're going to explore. We're going to explore the main line. We're going to try to understand. I am fascinated by why White plays c5 here. I don't get it. I guess we're going to get it, because my opponent knows what he's doing. He knows the theory. I think we're going to see this. d5. There we go. Oh, it's even, you see, I knew he knew what he was doing. Okay, we know the rules, one move at a time. This one is lost. We're just going to see how we lose. It's been interesting. I mean, we've not got absolutely hammered, but we're going to lose. Check. We'll take it with a knight. I think we're still doing well here. I predict a black win, but it's not going to be easy. But I think we can get to the back before white gets, the pawns get dangerous. You take here, right? I mean, you just got, I mean, no one plays queen e2, do they? You got to take here. You can play c4. You can play c4. You can play c4, but my style is to take here and just castle, solid, sensible. Liam, I'm just going to move my knight around. This, I thought really hard about this. And actually I think this is a good move and black is close to drawing. Should we make a decision then? We'll take with a rook. I'm not sure I've got that right. Both of them, it looks... White's struggling to show an advantage in both of them. I should have thought harder about that, but you know. Ooh, that's good. That's impressive. Sidewinder, Gary. Shall I move my king backwards and forwards aimlessly then? I mean, not aimlessly. My aim is not to lose. Keith. Develop the knight. It's a good move, that. Develop the bishop, hit the pawn. Develop the bishop, hit the pawn. I should have thought more carefully about this, really. Okay. I think that's okay, probably. What's the alternative? Just bring the knight out and then challenge that forward knight. Okay, so what am I worried about? What am I worried about with this? What I'm worried about is kind of like this. And then if I play this, my bishop's just going back, but maybe that's fine. But maybe I've lost a tempo. I think maybe we might be better. Maybe we don't lose a tempo this way. There we go. We're going to play this. We're not going to lose a tempo. I don't... Now, just before we confirm that move... Woof! That was close. Just before we confirm that move, what happens here? I sort of discounted this. Look at this. They say this looks really dangerous. Takes. Rook here, and then you've got to block it. Probably get away with it, but it's not obvious. Should have checked that, really. Well, we just have checked that. Pawn here. King here. We're just about to escape in time. Do we? Do we even? You know what? It's not obvious, is it? It's actually pretty... And the bishop moves better in that sense, because then the bishop can just pull back to g6. I mean, if you're really worried about this, which I'm starting to get, you can put the bishop on e6. That kills it. This was a crafty plan. So let's just have a look at the so-called main line. This. So, no. This takes rook here. What about knight there? Then there's no g4. Okay, I think it's sound. I think it's sound, but it's not easy. You've got to be careful. Shall I leave it for a day and just check it? Shall I trust it? Takes, rook takes. Takes, rook takes. I'm a bit nervous about this. I'll tell you the reason I'm a bit nervous is because I've had a bit of a fiasco in the game with Nigel. I've made a silly move and it's upset me. And so this is fine. How do you get out of this though? This is more difficult than it looks. Okay, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. This. Game against Stuart, d5, isn't it? This is. I think this is a transposition into the Queen's Indian Petrosian. Yeah, it is. We're doing it. We're gonna transpose into the Queen's Indian Petrosian. It's just happened, and that's fine. It's a sensible line for both sides. It makes sense. This one. Okay, let's do some easy ones where we're gonna just like win. That'll cheer me up, won't it? That's good. This one we know about this one. We're worried about this one. Okay, this one against Justin. I'm feeling quite good about this. Don't know what to do now, but I'm feeling quite good about it. And that knight is an absolute star. Gareth, what do we do here, Gareth? You stop me castling. Really? C takes d6. C takes d6. Rook g1. What does it all mean? I mean, let's just step back. So the point is we can't castle. Our king's in the centre. Is that scary? Well, it'll need some thought, won't it? It'll need some thought. Luckily, I've got some days to think about it. Nick, I think we play b3, Nick. The numbers are... Well, actually, the numbers aren't great for f4 or b3, to be honest. I'll keep thinking. This is a really indecisive day, isn't it? I'll tell you why it's an indecisive day. It's an indecisive day because something disastrous has happened on the game with Nigel. And it slightly tilted me. And it's a very good lesson, actually. Because what happened was this. Okay. Where's the game with Nigel? Please tell me it's been aborted by the server, because that's my only hope. It's not. That's a bit unfair. It's not my only hope. But basically, I can't find it. Wow, this is a really impressive day. Where is the game with Nigel? Here. Right at the top. Okay, so here's what happened. Here, queen there. Nigel played queen there. So I was looking at this move, bishop here, which I thought was very amusing, but I didn't really trust. I mean, what about this check, by the way? Like, totally wins. I'm glad I didn't trust it, because it totally loses. So I played this instead, which is also bad, because it's just dropping a pawn, right? But not as bad as bishop g4. That was really bad. Bishop g4 was a total... I mean, gosh. Okay, so I'm feeling less bad than again about this move. This move here. Check. I mean, it couldn't be more obvious. So the point is, queen here, right, so this is taking. I think this pawn's just for free. And then I've got a really tough defence. And I've got a chance of drawing it, but only a chance. It's a right old grind. Okay, you know, things are going better on chess.com, to be honest. I'm still agonising over the game with Ian. Although I think one of them I know what to do. Okay, here I take. I think I'm doing well in this ending. I think I've got an edge in this ending, although I'm not sure I'm winning it. But I think my king gets to g4 next. Probably get to penetrate. Like, could be, hang on. Okay. So the way it could go is I take, and then white's king's got to move unless you play pawn g4, which I take with a pawn. Then my king gets to g4, and then if the king is on g2, I play f5. Could be quite good. I think, yeah, if anyone wins, it's black. I think this means that the strategy worked and we're a pawn up. What next? No rush, right? There's just no rush. Play this and fight for the diagonal. Fight for the file. Be okay, won't we? I guess playing for rook e8 or something. I guess the rook might penetrate to the back, to e7. Do we worry about that? I mean, the alternative is put the king on f8. I'll need to think about that. I don't want to mess that up. That could easily be messed up. This one, there's a free pawn on g5, right? That's nice. I think that's fine. Here, black took with a rook. So I think black will take with a pawn here. I don't think he'll take with a rook. Because otherwise, I think that pawn ending is really good for white. Might even be winning. So I think we'll see pawn takes here to avoid this trade of rooks. Here you play c6 so that when they play queen b3, you can play queen b6. Oh, you got this new thing, king and pawns. This is king and pawn end games. Round 3. Okay. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to play. We're going to. It's not obvious what the best first move here. We're going to get our king towards the centre. In end games, it's important to get your king towards the centre. So we're going to get our king towards the centre in all these games. But I don't really know the opening theory. In the relevant rook ones, I move the rook's pawn and just develop the rook that way, which has worked out very well. Not sure here. Not sure. Well done, Josh. This is a good move. I'm taking back. Now I'm threatening c6. It's a really sharp position. It's fascinating, actually. It's fascinating. I think, okay, here, maybe pin the queen. Yeah. Okay, that's quite interesting, isn't it, that the knight wasn't offered for an exchange? Because I think probably white knew. And now I think I want to swap the rooks off and just move towards an endgame, because I think I'm better in the endgame. Like, I'm not going to play that right now, but I think I want to put a rook on the e file and just start swapping rooks. Because the idea is white has an isolated queen's pawn, black has a lovely knight on d5. Okay, now I've got something to admit on the puzzle front. This is embarrassing. I had a tilt today. You know, we've carefully built up our puzzle rating to 2960. Well, I tilted today and got a whole bunch of puzzles wrong. So we've got to work our way all the way back up, and in a sense it's quite fun to rebuild, but it's quite irritating. I won't do that again, honestly, guys, sorry. Okay, so let's start again. Well, we're still learning about chess and about psychology. So what would you play here? Would you take here, when the pawn takes, would you take with the rook, hitting the queen and then threatening a discovered check? Okay, there we go. Slowly building up. Great to see you all. I hope you're all well and you're not blundering pawns the way I am. You know, it's okay to blunder and bullet. You shouldn't really blunder in classical, and you should never blunder in correspondence, really. So that's on me. Look after yourselves. See you soon.